Right, so recording this on Saturday, since I wasn't feeling up to it to record this on Friday after taking this trade. I took calls on Friday. I wanted to wait until after 11 o'clock because that's when JPOW was speaking, and I did a little bit of, I did some watching in the morning just to observe and see what my system would have done. And pre-market low right here, kissed that to a couple of pennies, and basically just stairwayed up the rest of the day from 455 up to 459 and a half. That was a $4 move, and at no point in here did it actually violate my close rule. Even on this big honker at 11 o'clock, when it dipped back down, it never closed this 5 minute below the bottom of the last close. It really did not. As this last green close here, it really didn't. It was, and it held prior to close. So my entry system worked. My stop loss would have worked, but that would have been an awfully long. I'm not sure I would have been able to emotionally hold through that whole candle, even knowing that my rules hadn't been violated. That was a big move. But I ended up getting in right here on this red, and it was because I wanted to see if it retested pre-market high. Right here it had broken it, then lost it, and then came up again, broke through it, closed above, stayed above, retested, closed above it with some volume. So I wanted to see it come back down basically to the 8 SM or the 8 EMA on the 5 minute, which is right here. That's where I got into calls, and it closed back above the pre-market high, lower volume, red candle, and then it just kept going. This one was weird though. I got two different contracts for the same expiration date, but $1 further out of the money than I normally would, and that was basically for my mental watching that intense volatility down here. I didn't know if I was going to be able to hold at the monies and be able to actually hold to my system, and it turns out even further out and not watching that volatility, I still had a hard time following my system because I was watching dollar signs. The main thing I'm trying to teach myself to not do is not watch dollar signs, and I'm having a very hard time with it. I figured maybe watching percents instead would have done something. That didn't, because the one strike out of the monies went up about 80%, and the $2 out of the monies went up 300%. But it was a neat exercise to see percentage-wise if I'm in a panic over percent, it's actually doing it on the further out of the money contracts. And mathematically, that makes a lot of sense. The higher dollar value each percent is, the higher the percent gain is for a lower dollar gain, if that makes sense, the way I explained it. But I was basically out of this trade right over here. This candle here. This was actually my first profit target, was this hourly. So this is, once it failed this one, and this candle looked like it was going to close below, and I made a mistake because I wasn't looking at volume. The fact that it attempted again all I should have done was reset my stop here. I'd have still ended the day green. I'd have still ended the week green. But I overloaded myself by watching those two numbers, the percent numbers, one on top of the other one. So I'm not going to do that again. I'll size more appropriately for my risk tolerance, and I just will be mindful of the percentage. But look at that. That was a ripper. That went up all the way up to the daily. And then climb back above in aftermarket. So that whatever strength, I kind of heard Powell's speech down here. I didn't know what really to make of it. I know that it's a lot of times it's more the words he uses rather than the overall message, because language is weird. But overall for the week I was green, which means I didn't play horribly. I could have played a lot better by just tightening up my standards if I was going to follow my system. So that'll be my target for next week. A little bit harder on the stop, a little bit more confidence in the overall system, and really these levels have been working out really well the last couple of weeks. These pre-market highs and pre-market lows is a spot for price action. Watch to play. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, I guess, and collect some more data and go from there.